Come on, home. Really? Holy jeez. All right, man. There go right. Hey, turn around. We just need to go to Guffs Stuff here.
Oh, should I shut the...
I don't know. We'll see. That was real convenient timing there.
All right, wait, fine.
Oh yeah, my laptop lights turned off. So we get that stupid halo effect from the stupid fluorescent lights back there.
Stupid Master Chief effect.
Stupid dumb stuff. Oh, now my feed's already broke. My kid's not in school today.
What?
My feed's already broke. Buffering bad right now.
Are you using Wi-Fi or are you using your data?
Hopefully I'm using Wi-Fi. Pretty sure I paid the internet bill this month. It's auto pay, so I'm sure they would have told me by now if it wasn't.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on.
So what's the first episode going to be on? What's something that we need to talk about?
Yo!
What's something near and dear to our hearts?
What is going on? Why is everything broken already?
I want to talk a little bit about Dungeons and Dragons and the post-apocalypse.
Fine. Alright, let's see what's going on.
Some of the things that they've been doing right.
Well, that's weird.
Since the
So what's not right?
Since the bomb fell, you know.
Right. So is it my laptop's just having issues keeping up with my phone?
Well, there will be a delay.
No, I get that. But it was like we sat there for like 30 seconds. There shouldn't be that big of a delay. It was just sitting there doing little circles.
Oh.
Okay, I think we're okay now.
Boot up D&D Beyond.
Can we Oh my god. Yeah. You're my stuffs. You know, I should just quit being a chump. Quit being a damn chump.
You happy?
I just gotta wait for it to. I'm actually never gonna be happy, just unless I get 2 separate cameras recording. But I don't know how to do that yet.
Well, there's an easy way to do it.
What's that?
Plug 2 webcams in and capture 2 different
Streams?
Well, you don't have to stream 2 different streams, but you can have 2 different video capture devices.
Right.
And you can put them in 2 separate windows and put us like side by side.
Right. That made more sense. I only have one streaming device right now, though. Now we're starting to get weird lag again. So let's refresh. I'll fight this thing right now. Show violence. Okay. I want people to see freedom. Then it covers up my whole. I'm not gonna quit. I'm just gonna quit. Oh, I might have done it. Okay, it looks like I did it. So my mouse is backwards. That's great. Thanks a lot, mouse. Let's see here. Okay, we're doing this. How do I link this? Any idea?
What do you mean?
Well, I gotta send a link to Facebook and stuff. I
Oh, it's this Twitch TV / Guffs
Not on
Stuff.
Twitch.
What are you on?
YouTube.
Oh, I have no clue then.
What if I just copy his link? Put it on Facebook. Let's see.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or we could just go live on Facebook.
I don't really care.
Yeah. Are you sure? Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. We're live. We post on the business page. And we post on why do they keep changing this around? Just watch your mouth, okay? Watch your mouth. Watch it. Sorry. Okay, let's do this. No, I'm almost ready. Okay. I'm always ready. Welcome back to Guff Stuff podcast. I'm Guff.
I'm Javen.
And what are we talking about this week?
I want to talk about the post.
It's gotta be my volume.
I'll probably pick that up, didn't it? Well, let's redo that.
Okay, starting over. Sorry, it's muted now. Welcome back to Guff Stuff Weekly. My name is Guff.
I'm Javen.
And this week we're talking about something.
I want to talk about the post-apocalypse, the OpenGL nightmare, the Pinkertons,
Oh, God.
I want to talk about Wizards of the Coast and what they have done to rectify the OpenGL scandal, to regain the trust of the players, and to improve the platform of D&D Beyond.
Oh, well, there's two different things going on here.
But it all kind of rolls in. They're making changes.
They are making changes.
Some for the good, some I would argue not for the so good.
Right. I would agree.
But at the end of the day, they're attempting to make improvements, and it's
better than what they were
better
doing.
than stagnating like they were doing.
Right.
So, what do you want to talk about first?
I like to get the negatives out of the way.
Okay, so negatives.
They're stupid. No, Wizards of the Coast, I think, is a okay company. I think that I don't like where they went with Fifth Ed. I don't like that they tried to politicize everything, make everything, for lack of better words, woke. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It does. I think the politicization of it makes a lot more sense because at the end of the day, it seems to me like it wasn't a preemptive thing. It was a response to something.
Right.
Which is kind of funny because even TSR had a history of doing that.
Right.
When they had the Satanic Panic back in the 80s and 90s, for those who don't know, back in the 80s and 90s, it was kind of taboo to play Dungeons and Dragons in the eyes of some certain denominations of the Christian church.
Right.
A fair amount, I think, is a safe way to put it, but definitely the more hard-nosed, hard-lined denominations of the Christian faith. And one of the big things that they did in second edition to kind of rectify that was they changed the names. There was no longer devils and demons.
Okay.
They no longer called them devils and demons. They actually renamed them to Beatezu and Tenerai.
Okay.
And rather than the Nine Hells, they called it Beator. And the Abyss was still the Abyss, and that's where the demons come from.
Right.
So D&D has a history of like aligning with public opinion.
Right.
But in the next edition that came out, in third edition, they went back to Devils and Demons. And to this day, they're still called Devils and Demons.
Right.
So it makes me wonder how much of it is a quote-unquote like phase. Because D&D has a history of going through phases of trying to appease people.
Right.
And trying to appeal to people. And so I feel like it's probably just a phase.
There we go. Getting out there.
And like, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with making a game more inclusive, but when the sole purpose of what you're doing isn't to improve the quality of the game, but to appease a group of people,
Right. Yeah.
I feel like you're going the wrong direction.
That's where I would have my biggest problem is
Because at the end of the day,
taking a game that's run. Okay, so we got to look back at D&D, and it's primarily played initially by white males back in the day. I mean,
that
was the
that's
middle
what
working.
it was played by. Yeah.
It was generally the middle working white class people that
Yeah.
played it. It wasn't. I'm not saying that the minorities didn't play, and they play so much more now.
Yeah.
And then you move forward into history, and you get all other races, classes, genders, whatever playing, and that's fine. But you should not, in my humble opinion, go take stuff that's historically a certain way, like orcs are bad,
Yeah.
drow are bad,
Yeah.
and say, okay, well now they're all good because we have to play nice with the people who don't want bad things.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like historically, there has been one good drow in all of D&D.
Right.
And he even skirts the line a lot of
yeah.
times.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Driss Stewart.
Yep.
But to make a character from an inherently evil race, it's kind of interesting to me. Like it's a weird, like you wouldn't take the Starship Troopers bugs and try to sympathize with them.
No. Right. Exactly.
Like that's not the purpose of the setting.
Right.
Like it's also good to have a clearly defined bad guy.
Right.
And if it's orcs, like kobolds, no one's saying anything about kobolds. No one's saying anything about dragons.
Right.
Well, we had good and bad dragons, but it seems very interesting to me that you're trying to just, rather than having defined lines of like what is right and wrong in the game.
Right.
This has nothing to do with our culture.
Right.
But if you can't see an orc that's going around and murdering and pillaging and raiding villages, it's like a Viking, right?
Right.
Like you look at a Viking and you're like, okay, that's a bad guy.
Right.
Like there's nothing good about the Vikings really.
Right.
Other than, like some might glorify the warrior culture, the whatever. But at the end of the day, they go out and they raid and pillagers. Yeah.
That's literally what they were
And
doing.
like that's kind of what the orcs were.
Right.
But now it's like, not all orcs are bad. But even in the older editions, they had lawful good orcs.
Right. Right.
There was certain like sects of orcs that broke off. It was not the norm.
Right.
And so it made the lore a lot more interesting. Where now, if everything's just kind of gray area, it makes it hard as a player. Like if you're playing Skyrim,
right,
and you walk around, you see a red bar above somebody's head, you know they're an enemy.
Right. Yeah, you just know it.
And that's a clearly defined thing for players to do.
Right.
And in a game like D&D, where combat is of the utmost importance, don't get me wrong, it's still a role-playing game,
right,
but the game was designed around combat and good versus evil.
Yeah, that's kind of where you get that hero mentality.
Right.
All your characters are heroes. Now you can have the anti-hero characters or the
evil characters, whatever,
campaign, whatever. But that's all part of what we could do as, in my humble opinion. This is my humble opinion. Leave as is, and we've always done this in our campaigns from day one to now. They don't like when you open up the cover of the book. The first thing it says is just guidelines.
Yeah, this is just guidelines.
And so if you want to have, like, I made a whole world where goblins were the primary, goblins, kobolds, bugbears. They were all the predominant races, and humans and elves. They were all like the secondary
citizens,
yeah, like dogs of the world. Kind of like what you generally treat goblins and kobolds.
Yeah,
and but you can just do that. We don't have to have books out there telling us that, if we have this. Yeah, maybe I'm just nitpicking a little bit, but when they change their text of all their books to say that this is this,
yeah,
like they never said that the orcs were bad in the D&D in the books themselves. It was just kind of presumed because the orcs were the villains. Like,
well, I guess that's partially true. I don't want to actually here.
Well, I mean
but in the monster manuals, they were labeled as
Right. Well, right.
evil.
But like during some of the campaigns and stuff that we've had, they don't necessarily say all orcs are bad in the books. Sometimes they do have good. I mean, I shouldn't even use orcs. Just the monsters aren't all bad.
But I mean, to be fair, like the drow or the
Mhm.
drow, some people call them. I don't understand that, but drow. It specifically states in the monster manual that they're evil.
Right.
They're just evil. The whole race is a matriarchal society.
Right.
That is just all about killing and worshiping Lolth and literally just debauchery and evil.
Right.
Now there are certain actors in that race that have broken free, and it's a struggle every day of their life. Like Driss Do'Urden,
Yeah.
he has to look at the sunrise every morning and force himself to like go through that pain,
Right.
so that he can like realize, hey, I'm not this thing anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and that inner turmoil is what really drives good characters.
Oh no, absolutely.
But if everything's just gray goop and porridge,
It kind of takes away the whole like.
it takes away motivation, in my opinion.
Well, and I guess even the whole politically correct thing. The other thing that would really bother me is not every player, not every DM, not every player has that open imagination to just create their own world, right?
Right.
And so if you make it complicated on them,
Yeah.
you make it a brand new player, you have the starter set, which by the way is really good. I've always liked
The Fendelberts.
Yeah, I've always liked that one. But if you make the starter set, you make the rules confusing. Like if you don't define good, bad, evil for a new player, when like getting into Dungeons and Dragons, the first thing they're thinking is, "Oh, hey, we're gonna play and we're gonna go out and save the world." But if you don't make that, there's defined good and bad, it just gets confusing.
And I mean, I know we talk about it all the time on this channel, but look at Baldur's Gate 3. They did an amazing job of showing that even though something might be evil, you can
Right.
still like make deals with it and work with it.
Right.
With the different devils in there,
Right.
with the giant ogres
Yeah.
that you can
Yep.
pay to help you. Like money is their motivator, so they're selfishly motivated.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Baldur's Gate 3 didn't really sugarcoat anything. It kind of just gave you the system and gave you the setting
Right.
as it was.
And honestly, if you're creating a system out there, that's what you should give us. Like, give us a system. If some people don't have the creativity to make their own right and wrongs, give us the right and wrongs, or the goods and bads,
Yeah.
and just let us do what we want with it.
Well, another great example of this is that I talk about it every once in a while, but
Yep.
the Palladium Systems Rifts,
Right.
the Rifts role-playing game, has guys that are basically Nazis. Like, they're
Right.
essentially Nazis in the post-apocalypse. It's
Right.
And they're called the Coalition, and they kill all mutants, all abominations, everything like that. It's kind of got like a 40K vibe to it, but they're clearly the bad guys because they're like, oh, if you're a mutant, you're a second-class citizen, and we might just murder you if you're not useful to us. And so it's a very clearly defined bad guy. So imagine if they take that and say, well, they're not necessarily bad.
Right.
And it's like,
yeah, then it's all of a sudden, wait,
Yeah.
what? Why?
But Rifts does that. They let you play as the Coalition. You can play as Coalition members.
Right.
But you typically do that in a Coalition campaign, and you have a very clearly defined, you are the bad guys.
Right.
And you're playing a bad guy campaign.
Right. Yep. No, I like the clearly defined boundaries. I don't like we gotta appease everyone boundaries. I don't think that helps anybody.
Well, and it makes for nice storytelling, too, because if you meet a Coalition guy, let's say in the Rifts game,
Right.
or let's go back to Dungeons and Dragons, let's keep it simple.
Yep.
You meet an orc who doesn't immediately want to kill you.
Right.
Well, now all of a sudden you're like, wait, something's wrong here. And now you have a whole adventure hook, and it makes for an interesting and compelling
Oh
story.
yeah, yeah. I know when I had my guys in my campaign when they ported over to the other place, the first city they come across, they found a human outside the city. They hadn't been in the city yet. The city had walls or whatever else,
Mhm.
and the human had a collar on and was digging in the ground and just acting Neanderthalic.
Yeah.
Foraging for. And they're like, "Hey, come here, let's talk." And the human didn't have any good verbal language, and they were all like, "What's going on?" And then a goblin come outside. Hey, good language wasn't guttural, wasn't. I mean, it was a little guttural just because of the way they're built. But
Yeah.
what are you doing out here? What are you? They're all we had a mixed race, so it was kind of confusing to the goblin.
Yeah.
It wasn't just pure humans. And the players weren't sure what the heck to do at that point. They were like, let's run. Like,
but I think about how they're kind of, I just like to call it like porridging or oatmealing.
yeah.
They're making it very bland.
Yeah, no, right.
And you would never have had systems like Dark Sun exist.
Right.
The whole campaign setting for Dark Sun was about this, and even Planescape, and some of the other big net Birthright.
Right.
All of these had very, like, halflings were cannibalistic, evil little monsters in Dark Sun.
Right now they're just cute little furry.
But that was Dark Sun. That was their setting.
Right.
They were feral. They were cannibals. They were just absolutely just nightmarish folk. And elves in that setting were extremely tall, fairly muscular, but not like super built.
Right.
And they were nomadic tribesmen, basically.
Interesting. We're forest dweller tree huggers.
Right.
Nice.
And like you had all of these different. It basically flipped the script on
Right.
the whole narrative, and it made for a really fun setting to play in. But if you try to homogenize everything,
Right.
I feel like it detracts from the game in the long run.
So, with that said, and all of what we've been talking about, what do you think the root cause is of why did Wizards of the Coast go this way, and basically ruin their D&D Beyond platform
So that
and all this other stuff? Like, why do you think they went down this road, and
so
why did it take so long for them to turn around?
I think like you said initially is that it is
Yep.
possible. It is two different issues,
Right.
and I don't know if it stems from the same problem. I think it stems from two different problems. I think the homogenizing and oatmealing, porridging of the content has to do with the same thing that happened in the 80s with the Satanic Panic. That's why I opened with that, is that there is a history of them doing something
Yeah.
like this. Of taking something that is abrasive to a culture or a specific group of people.
Right.
In our case, it was the church in the 90s. And
Right.
flipping the script a little bit to make it more appealing to everybody.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they just went back to what they did originally because
Well,
it was too confusing for people to remember.
right. That too.
Oh, this is a Peyote.
That
Is
too,
is it a devil, a demon? I don't know what any of this
if you
is.
flip the script, you're making it confusing. I mean, it's,
And that-
yeah,
that- and
you're
ulti-
not sticking to your guns. I think personally, long term, most people appreciate something that just, hey, we're gonna do what we're gonna do. Look at Rockstar Games.
Yeah.
They give everybody the big bird. They don't care.
Yep.
They do what they want, and they're one of the best-selling
They're just
companies in the world.
extraordinarily because they care more about compelling characters, compelling stories.
Even if they're not, even if they're politically wound up,
Yeah.
they just don't care. They just want to go where, at least in that instance of what we're initially talking about.
Well, and look at
The
Baldur's Gate
homogenizing.
3.
Yeah.
Another great example. They stuck to the original D&D guns.
Right.
And it paid dividends.
Yeah.
Like, that game is so well loved.
Yeah.
There are people that complain about it. You know,
Oh, yeah.
But I remember we were looking at someone complaining that people were modding the characters to make them more attractive. Whatever. People are going to do what they're going to do.
What's wrong with the burning
Who-
tiefling? Come on.
Who cares?
She's hot in her own way.
Who cares? What I do in my house, who cares?
Right, exactly.
Like at the end,
Exactly.
who cares? It's
Right.
And this is a whole other. We have a
no,
whole
that
we have
right.
a whole other podcast we talk
Yeah.
about this stuff on. But so to get to the
secondary issue.
to get to the secondary issue, D&D Beyond, most of that was an outcry from the OpenGL,
which was
we've talked about already
Yeah.
on a different podcast.
Yeah.
But just to recap, Wizards basically pulled a Unity and said we're gonna charge you for using our stuff.
But to be fair, it was probably not Wizards directly influencing that decision.
It was
I
probably
would
the
say
higher ups at Hasbro.
Yeah, because right before that, a bunch of people had quit D&D Beyond because they lost control over what they could and could not do.
Yep.
And then we kind of have an idea why now, because Hasbro, the parent company, it is a giant
Conglomerate. Yeah.
Garbage.
It's just
it's all about shareholders and the top dollar. And
we've
they're-
talked about this in video games how many
Yeah.
times?
all the time.
All the time.
It's ridiculous.
It's the decision of the suits affecting
They know nothing about what's going on down here.
And it's sad because at the end of the day, they are going to make more money in the short term if they jack up the prices, do whatever. But in the long run, it's gonna kill the revenue stream.
Right. Yeah. Sadly, it's gonna be a. I think that's what's ultimately the biggest choice between D&D Beyond and even some of the woke political stuff that they try to change. I honestly think it has something to do with the parent company Hasbro making stock shareholder decisions. Because if I'm a shareholder in a company, I have say 10% of the Hasbro stock. I have a pretty big say in what goes in that company.
Yeah,
like 10% is a lot of shares in one company, especially when you're that big. And I call up the board of directors and say, hey, I'm going to dump my 10% on the market right now and watch your stocks plummet, or you guys are going to hire a rainbow-haired colored whatever it is, and they're going to go ahead and change all that. And if I'm Hasbro, I'm like, well, it's our job to make sure that we get our shareholders the best money they can. So that's what you do. You do what the guy who has the money tells you. And I think with D&D Beyond, that's what happened with the OGL. I think that was all Hasbro testing the market to see what would happen if they said we're going to microtransaction everything.
I want to put the distinction here. I don't think we're tying the inclusivity stuff with the
No.
shareholders.
No, I'm not trying to do that. No.
Yeah, I want to make the distinction.
No, I was just using a generic example.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say that's exactly the cause. Just saying that when you start having shareholders making decisions for something on something they know nothing about.
Yeah.
And you're telling the people ahead of Wizards of the Coast they have to do things. But it's like listening to congressmen talk about the internets. And how does that one signal get from your phone to your computer?
It's people trying to base business decisions on an industry that they know very little about.
Right, and when you start doing that, then you start that. That's ultimately, I think, where the OGL changes started coming from. Is everybody's like, well, EA did microtransactions.
Yeah,
so
or Unity's doing this, but
Unity, so we should do it too.
But the thing is, so many people, a lot of them were looking at Apple. They're like, well, look what Apple does, you know.
Well,
and now all of that is coming apart. Apple's getting sued.
Right.
Unity got absolutely blasted.
Oh yeah.
OGL for D&D. I mean, how many of the people like Kobold Press are like, well, we'll just make our own game now, or Critical Role, we'll just make our own system now.
I think
they're literally just like they're pulling out because
I would say there's probably 50 new systems that came out in a period of like a few months.
Because people were like, we're not going to deal with
No,
it.
we don't want to deal with that. We don't want to deal with the political garbage. We don't want to deal with the money garbage on top. We just want to have a game we can play. But now, because we've been ragging on these guys so bad, I think we should go ahead and talk positive for a bit.
So one of the few things, or not few things, but one of the positive things I will say about Wizards and D&D Beyond is that they've done a very good job of releasing quality free content through adventures.
Yep.
The most recent one was the Last Caverns of Shokanth. Shokanth,
however you want to pronounce it.
Shokanth, whatever.
A TS something. Yeah. Not supposed to be English.
But it's a reboot of an old classic first edition adventure written by Gary Gygax.
Yep.
So they're paying homage to the guy that made the game, just like they did with Tomb of Annihilation.
Yep.
They're like, look, this was really good, and this is a fan favorite. Let's officially put it into 5th Ed and give it to everybody for free.
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
And it's a show of like trust because D&D Beyond's like, we're going to give you everything for free for this.
Yeah.
We hope you use it for D&D.
Right.
You know, rather than port it over into Kobold Press or Privateer Press, or whoever's making whatever. The other thing they started doing on D&D Beyond is I noticed recently they added Kobold Press books. They put Humblewood on there. Yeah. So they're taking third-party developers and publishing their content on the official D&D.
Yeah, I don't think Humblewood has anything to do with 5th Ed, does it?
I think it's based in 5th Ed.
Okay.
Like 5th Ed is the plural. It's like a hacked 5th Ed. Kind of like the Kobold Press books are
right. Yeah, well, that
for 5th Ed.
Right. Yep.
So it's just a really it shows good savviness in their part. The other thing I've liked that D&D Beyond and Wizards have done is they brought back some of the fan favorite settings. I mean, look at Dragonlance.
Yep.
Look at
Spelljammer.
Look at Planescape.
Yep.
They did the Planescape box set, and now they've added Quest from the Infinite Staircase. Is coming out soon.
Nice. Yeah, it's actually.
And that's one of my favorite
Yep.
mega modules or story anthologies was the Infinite Staircase.
Right.
It's such a good story. It has to do with a lot of demi-planes and not like very normal visited places.
Right.
And it's just really cool. But I mean, they've done a good job of, at the very least, trying to rectify what they've done. They didn't jack up the prices of their subscription service like they said they were going to.
I think they actually went down. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm pretty sure they went down.
Well,
they
resubscribed because my players wanted me to resubscribe so they could be part of our campaign groups again and make characters off of it. And I'm pretty sure it was cheaper than it was the first time I subscribed.
Yeah,
I might be wrong, but
it's. I want to say for the cheapest. Oh, I can look it up here quick. The other thing I like about it is that you can link it to your Twitch, and so if you ever stream D&D, you can have your character sheets and all that.
Overlays all that on there. Yep.
It's about $2.17 a month for the basic tier, and about $5 a month for the master tier. But they were talking like $30 a month at one point.
Yeah, at one point they were throwing just crazy numbers out.
Yeah,
and then like, holy
I believe
smokes.
you also get access to some of the virtual tabletop tools.
Yeah, they've started doing a lot of that where they have like fog of war maps, and that's pretty like.
Which is something I always thought they should have leaned into a little harder, to begin with, because Roll20 and Fantasy Grounds
and a lot of the other ones.
Have been doing that for so successful. Virtual table, and that's one of the first episodes we did too. Was virtual tabletops.
So why not just embrace it?
Why not make a proprietary software?
Right.
You want to talk about exclusivity and proprietary software? Yeah. Make a better virtual tabletop than your competitors.
Exactly. I mean, who has more money? You think about it. Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, or a small company like Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds.
And it's crazy too. I mean, Roll20 did it brilliantly, in my opinion.
And pretty cheaply.
It was all basically open source.
Yep.
Not quite open source, but basically open source. Right. You could go in and you could edit character sheets, make form fillable stuff on their API and all that stuff. It was a super smart idea.
No, it was wonderful.
And then if you want a microtransaction, all of a sudden you could start selling virtual dice and cosmetic stuff, which some people love that. Some people love that.
Yep. No,
there's nothing wrong with that. So I mean, at the end of the day, you can put all your maps on there. You can link it to the source books.
It's really kind of tears me because I like Fantasy Grounds. I haven't run a lot of campaigns in it, but I have used their map systems a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But if D&D Beyond's already going to do the map system, like it's smooth. I've played with it a little bit. It's pretty smooth. You put up a map, you can fog a war, and then I had another person sitting over there on another computer logged into it, and you can put up a full map. It's all fog of war. Then you just if you're going down a hallway, you just clean off the hallway for them.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, they're supposed to add line of sight and all that other stuff, which is crazy.
Which is features that are on most of the other.
Yeah, which is already on other, but that's something D&D Beyond is finally whatever Wizards of the Coast was going through with Hasbro, they finally hashed out their differences to some extent. Or Wizards is just hey, we're gonna do this. I'm sorry, you can't keep running all of our customers away. Mm-hmm. This is not how we make money.
Well, and the other great thing too is with D&D Beyond. Is the fact that all the source material is super, the way they do it is super nice. Because you can access everything. It has hyperlinks within all the contents. You can click on something. It'll bring up the rules. It's just really nice. I mean,
it is.
It's great.
Well, yeah. So I all in all, they made some big mistakes. And they paid for it, and they're still paying for it, and they're going to pay for it for many years to come. Because
they lost the trust.
I think the biggest thing they lost was the trust. Yeah, but I think they also lost a lot of people that are just not buying their books. There's talks of them maybe not producing hard books anymore to some extent because they've just lost so many people. Their last few books they've sold didn't do well. They were just blowing them out on Amazon for almost nothing.
Yeah,
and it's sad because I love all my hard books. I like to be able to hold them. I like digital too when I'm just sitting on the couch or I'm at home and I'm not at the store. Well, it's nice to whip out my phone or my laptop and just I can read through it. But man, when you're in the store, there's nothing about like flipping
Flip
over a
open.
book and just
Well, I think what the major trouble was, and this has been true of every D&D edition,
Yeah.
and the way that D&D functions,
Yeah.
is that you need the 3 core books to play, and then after that, you really don't need anything.
right. No, the rest is just
splurging.
fluff and
But
stuff.
they did a good job with, I will say, from a business standpoint, not necessarily from a consumer standpoint,
Right.
but from a business standpoint, they did a really good job of making people want to buy Xanathars, making people want to buy Mordenkainens.
Oh yeah.
Because it gave you options that you didn't have. And
Yeah,
that's
rules
always
options.
been true,
Yep.
of, even when they were TSR. You
Yep.
know, even in first edition, you had the freaking
Heck, they had Dungeon magazine coming out where their alternate rules are even putting those things.
The
Dragon magazine.
The anti-paladin was
Yep.
from a dungeon magazine or
Yep.
a dragon magazine from way back in the day that I
Right.
used. And so like it's not like it's a new thing that they're doing.
No.
It's just that I feel like the quality of the content that they're producing isn't holding up anymore,
Right.
and people just aren't buying it
Yeah.
because there's just
Well, I think with the release of the, like you said at the beginning, the release of the
it's
Lost
almost like a
Caverns
fatigue.
is I think that's going to help a lot.
I hope so. I hope people, and I've always wondered too, why not pull into the archives and think about how successful Curse of Strahd was.
All the stuff they
How
have.
successful
Yeah.
Tomb of Annihilation was.
Yeah. Against the Giants.
And I get it, you want to write new stories. Like, I understand that completely. Tales from the Yawning Portal was also extremely successful.
Yeah.
I get you want to write new stories, but there's just a plethora of things.
Well,
and they have done a good job of pulling into the archives.
Yeah.
Like, they did the Expedition to Barrier Peaks.
Right.
They did the sequel to that in 5th Ed. They did The Lost Laboratory of the Qualish,
Okay.
which was the sequel to one of the
Oh.
most fan favorite modules, goofy modules. But why not do like Castle Amber?
Right.
Why not do some of the
Against
old
the Giants. and
against
stuff
the
like
giant?
that, yeah.
Exactly. Wrath of the Spider. They did GDQ.
Yeah, that whole
module.
yeah, starting from Keep.
The Keep
Or
on the Borderlands.
Keep the first one, yeah.
Village of Hamlet, Keep on
Yeah.
the Borderlands, all the way
Let's
through
go all the way down to the
layer
Drow.
of the layer of the Spider
Yeah.
King. Yeah. So I mean, like, I feel like there's still hope for D&D and D&D Beyond,
Yeah.
but I think we're just seeing an ebb and flow, a cycle.
Yeah,
It's not like this hasn't happened before.
someone just posted in the comments. It's new customers versus old customers, and it's a hard balance because old customers are the ones that have the money to buy all the stuff.
Yeah.
New customers are like, there's 300 systems to try, plus video games, plus
Yeah.
all these other
It's a
distractions. It's kind of like what's happening with Magic and Wizards of the Coast. I know this is a DD, but people are getting fatigued. They're just
Yeah.
like,
There's so many sets.
too much stuff coming out. It's just too much.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, we've talked a lot about it, and sorry if it got political. I wasn't trying to make it political. I was just trying to explain how things are working and how I seen it working from my standpoint,
Yeah.
from an older generation person to a younger generation person.
And yeah, and again, like that's why I tried to state that
Right
away that there is past precedent for this.
Oh yeah,
It's not like this is a new thing that they're doing.
No, and I didn't like it back then. Either.
And if they try to pretend that this is something new that they're doing because they've done something wrong,
right,
they're 100% just blowing smoke up your butt because they've done this before.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and
it didn't work out for them
was
before.
Stupid back then, and it's stupid now. So just
it's just
stop.
it's the way it is, and it's unfortunate, but it's people trying to appeal and homogenize everything, and it detracts.
Yeah, no, it does.
And it's not like you can't write an interesting adventure where the orcs are the good guys.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. You have all the creativity,
But trying to change the fundamental structure of
Right.
something that's been around for what 50 years now.
50
This is the
anniversary.
50th
this year.
yeah, trying to change the fundamental bone structure of something that's been around for 50 years.
Yeah.
If it's worked for 50 years, why change it?
Right. Yeah.
You
makes
don't
no
you don't
sense.
reinvent the wheel.
You don't even think about it. I'm just as old as D&D.
Yeah,
I probably came out on my birthday.
I wouldn't
I'm
doubt it.
guessing I was spawned into this world, and Gary's like, "Hey, we got D&D going."
So is this like a
That's what happened.
Mark Twain thing with Haley's Comet?
Yeah, I think
He
so.
was born when Haley. Are you gonna die when D&D?
I'm guessing it.
When
Oh,
D&D
shoot,
dissolves?
this is bad. This is important, man. I gotta keep this going.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for listening. We'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah. Next one. All right. The live stream will keep going. We're just gonna.
We gotta render the audio.
Yep. Hey Garth, what's going on, man?
Oh, Garth's here, huh?
The Garth monster.
Is that his name?
No, just Garth. And Risa. Oh, that was Marie. Marie's back.
Oh, nice.
That's true. I would be immortal if I die when D&D dies. So there will be one guy that carries the torch, hands it off.
I always thought that was a really interesting fact that Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain, was born on the day Halley's Comet passed.
Died.
And he died on the day that it came back. It was like 89 years or something. Every 89 years it comes back.
I have no idea.
2064 is when it comes around again.
I probably won't be here for that one. There's a fighting chance. I know I seen it when I was younger.
No.
Although I seen Hail Bop too. That was pretty freaking cool. That was probably the coolest thing I've seen as far as the whole sky stuff. Because you go up to Beltrami. I took a bunch of photos of it back then with the old digital or the film cameras, and it was just the middle of the day like this. There was this big like freaking white thing going across the sky, and then you go back every day, and it was still just kind of trucking along.
I'm excited
really
for
cool.
when Apophis comes between the moon and the Earth's orbit.
So you're saying, we might get another time when Halley's Comet comes back.
Yeah.
Now, what was that? Sorry.
I'm really interested to see. There's a big rock coming at us right now.
Oh, yep.
Called Apophis.
Yep.
And it's projected to basically go right between the moon and the Earth.
Right.
Which is a huge distance, but like on the cosmological scale, it's like threading a needle.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be really cool because I have a feeling that's going to be extreme. It's going to be bigger than the moon in our view, hopefully.
Right.
But like it'll just be a big rock. It's like in 5 years, I think it comes by.
I heard something about that.
So
Gar says we could sacrifice 1,000 neckbeards a day to keep the going. I mean, we could, and that seems kind of wrong.
Sacrifice 1,000 edgelords a day.
Yep.
Do we have to burn them with the katanas and the fedoras, or
right?
That's funny.
Oh boy.
I'm rendering pretty slow today.
Yeah. It's because you wanted to hurry, right?
It's struggling along.
Quit wanting to hurry so much, and guess what? It probably won't.
Actually, you know what I was thinking would be a cool idea? When we do the shop talk episodes, or if we do like the streamed episodes, if we do shop talk, if we accept questions and stuff from chat.
That's true.
Because that gives a little more interaction for people with the podcast, and maybe gets more comments. You know, it's more like a radio hour than it is anything else.
That sounds good, chat. Let's do it. Is that what we're doing next?
Shop talk.
Talk. Ask questions.
So shop talk is basically we talk about gaming news, gaming stories. It's just an open-ended discussion on gaming in general, or hobbies.
Yeah.
There's not really a set.
No, we just kind of ramble.
So.
I wish I had a way of posting it. Oh, wait. Oh, it's on my phone. No.
What do you need to post?
Post a neckbeard.
Oh.
Put it up on the camera, because Gar said neckbeard, so I wanted to show him a good neckbeard if you have that picture.
I think you showed it to him already.
Yeah, I don't think I've showed it to Marie, though.
Oh, yeah.
Ariza.
You sent it to me in what?
I don't remember. Probably Discord, maybe? I don't know. I'm not good enough with this live recording thing to know how to do things like that on the screen, so. No clue.
Did you send it to me in Discord?
I don't know. I can look at Discord, I suppose.
I'll check here. I don't know if you actually sent me the picture. No, you never did.
Okay, send it to you then.
Did you post it? Maybe?
Maybe. Oh, I bet you I posted Discord.
Isn't Gar supposed to be at work?
Yeah, Gar should be. I don't know. What time is it? Yeah, Garth, are you supposed to be at work?
Oh, jeez. Your daughter updated the calendar.
Uh-oh.
Look,
What happened?
She upped her game.
Oh, yeah, she did. She's color coding. Nice. Yeah, you'll have to let us know when you're starting to stream again, Riza. And then you can tell me how to do some of this stuff. I'm just too old to be learning new things, I guess. I don't know. I'll just have to hire somebody to do it at some point. Suppose I should start paying Javen first, though. You know, kindness only goes so far.
Wait, I'm getting paid?
No, I mean, at some point, yeah. That'd be the ideal.
Sign me up.
Boom. Look at all these. Why does it keep saying I should report somebody? There we go. How do you know what a PNG tuber is? Or actually make a 2D VTuber? What's it? I don't even know what those are. What is it? PNG tuber? I'll look it up.
Isn't that just it's like a VTuber, but it's just a picture rather than an actual
Oh yeah,
virtual model?
Yeah, no, that's the what? Can we do something like this?
No.
Come on,
I refuse it.
That's wonderful.
I refuse.
Oh, and then okay. What did she say that one was? Whoa, calm down. File types. Okay. Oh, so the picture will bounce when you talk. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We could do Beavis and Butthead. No, I'd just be a fat Beavis, but because you'd have to be Butthead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm blonde though.
I mean, I was at 1.2. Just the older I got. I'm going back closer than you are, though. See, look, my hair's starting to turn white. All right, let's see here. See, look at all using all these fancy words with me. 2D VTuber. What the frick? How to be a full 2D VTuber in 2023. Oh yeah, it's a lot of anime stuff there. Pretty much every link I go to is anime. Nice. Come on, man. What's going on? We gotta do our second podcast.
Yeah.
I got games to play tonight.
What do you get to play?
I don't know what we're playing tonight. I think we're playing PlanetSide again.
Oh yeah, that's right. And we're gonna do. Okay, we're rendered. We're good to go. That's what I was waiting for.
So if you guys have any questions during this one, just go ahead and feel free to post them, and I'll try to catch them.
Hi, and welcome back to Guffs Stuff Weekly Podcast. I'm Javen.
And I'm Guff.
Shop talk.
Yep, shot talk.
So that means we're talking shop. We're also talking maybe some news, stuff like that. Anyways, you know,
Talking news. Oh,
whatever comes up in our mind. All right.
I'm gonna put a promotional item. We're not being sponsored by this company.
What company?
We want to be sponsored by this company, but we're not.
Arizona?
Mountain Dew.
No, I'll take it.
No, Arizona. That's true.
Fully endorse Arnold Palmer beverages by the Arizona company.
Well, you know what? If you're gonna have a company doing anything, Arizona's the company to have do it.
I don't need them to endorse me. I'm endorsing them. That's all I'm saying.
How are the minis I painted? Oh, minis went well. Like I've painted up a crap ton of them. I don't have them easily accessible at this point.
Yeah, you've been painting like a savage lately, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah.
I have. I will show. I will actually have a stream of that at some point. Maybe. Oh, so maybe this weekend. Oh no, maybe tomorrow. I'll do a little stream of the painted minis that we've done.
Okay.
That I've done, or maybe some of the ones my daughter's done. That would be fun. Maybe I should just do that. Maybe we should bring in some minis.
Yeah.
Bring in some Warhammer minis.
Just show them off.
Do some Warhammer. We'll do a mini stream just to show off some of the stuff we've done here. Because we are working towards doing commission work and setting up something like that. So
yeah. You've also been auctioning stuff lately too.
Yeah, I've been auctioning some of the stuff too. Yeah, hell yes, Arnold Palmer, John says.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So one of the things I want to talk about, I was in my Steam feed this morning, and one of the games that we did a podcast on many moons ago now.
Yep.
Company Heroes 3
Oh.
is kind of a joke company. That entertainment.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Because they released Dawn of War, which was like universally just people despised it.
Yeah.
Dawn of War 2, people were even unhappy about that. Company of Heroes 2, when that released, it was just a dumpster fire.
Right.
And Company of Heroes 3 on release, and to this day is still arguably a dumpster fire.
Right.
You know, they put like microtransactions in the game before they even bothered like fixing multiplayer.
Bugs.
Yeah. And it's just like horrible decisions. But there is light at the end of the tunnel because Relic announced that they had an outside investor dump some money into them, and now they can break free from Sega. So they can become an independent. They can publish their own games.
That would be
rather
nice.
than having being beholden to somebody and having to release a game too early or whatever.
Right. I think all companies should shoot for that, to be honest. I understand why companies go to bigger partners because it's less financial burden and they don't have to have all the complexities and all that. But when you do that, Activision and Blizzard, all of a sudden you lose. I mean, Overwatch 2, hello? Do you think Blizzard would have put that out by themselves if Activision wasn't shoving it at them?
It's so hard to say.
I highly doubt it.
Because there's so many people that just despise Blizzard now.
Well, that's because Blizzard was a very successful company right up until, even during the beginning of Activision, they were successful. And it's arguably they're still successful.
I mean, yeah.
But you can see all the head designers, all the head game programmers, all the art people all quit during that Activision takeover. Not during, it was over a period of years.
Yeah.
But basically got chased away from the company.
Mm-hmm.
So all the guys who were making good decisions got chased away. And then they were shutting down Overwatch 1. We're going to open up Overwatch 2. Still one of the worst rated games on Steam ever.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Well, are any of the... Did they buy Call of Duty or did they buy Battlefield? It was one or the other.
Yeah, one or the other.
I think it's Call of Duty.
I think that's the same issue we ran into before. We just didn't
know. Yeah.
Well, we don't play those games. So.
But yeah, so that's a light at the end of the tunnel for that series.
That'd be nice. It'd be nice to see Relic. Relic, I always liked Relic games back in the day. They were just fantastic company.
Well, I mean, like they were a juggernaut, so to speak. They were kind of like what Blizzard was to RTSs and MMOs. Right. Relic was right up there.
Oh yeah, no, Relic Blizzard made mostly the. Of course Blizzard made StarCraft and Warcraft.
Yeah.
And then were their two big titles where Relic kind of delved into a few different titles.
They bought into the 40K IP and all that. And so, I mean, like, there was a lot of really cool things that Relic did. And they're basically just an RTS company.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all they do.
It was just good. It was good.
And they had it nailed down. And, like, even to the, Company Heroes 3 is still a fun game.
Right.
Like, I
imagine how fun it would have been, though, without.
And I think, and it's really cool, too, because as soon as they announced this, they were going to release some free content at the end of April.
Yep.
They announced that they're breaking away, and then they immediately announced afterwards that on April 2nd, they're releasing free battle groups for the two other factions. Like, they just a whole free content.
There you go. Nice.
And it's like I like to think that the company that they were beholden to was like, no, you got to slow burn it and make sure that we do this and stretch out the content and make people grasp it.
Right.
And now they're just like, nah, dude, we have all this ready.
Let's just dump it. Yeah.
And so I hope that's a sign, just like we talked about in our previous episode with D&D Beyond. I hope that's an olive branch extended.
It would be nice because it's nice to see that companies are in. Well, when these companies get merged into these giant companies, they stop talking to the players. They literally.
Well, they're beholden to the shareholders.
Yeah, now all of a sudden shareholders are making decisions, which again, that was part of the problem with
the previous episode.
You get shareholders out there, And yeah, it's nice to see.
It convolutes everything and pulls it away from the core.
Not
Forward.
many of the big publishers have made good decisions. I think the only one I can really come up with off the top of my head would be Microsoft. But Microsoft understands that gaming is the future. That even their operating system is not nearly as important as their gaming system.
Well, and we were talking about this before podcast. I can't remember the statistics exactly what it was, but I'm like 95% positive, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm 95% positive the gaming industry makes more than the entire cinema industry.
Oh, probably.
Like it's not even like close.
Right.
Because gaming is almost like I think it's like $500-600 billion industry.
It could be. Yeah,
it is
a ridiculous,
massive.
Yeah,
because everybody owns a freaking game console.
Well, if you own a phone, you own a gaming console.
How many people play on mobile games? You know, like it's huge.
For those watching, you are allowed to ask questions. So
yeah.
If you want to chime in, I'll try to do my best to keep up. And
yeah. For those who are listening but not watching, we are currently streaming live as we're recording this Shop Talk.
Yeah, feel free to post in the comments though.
Yeah,
whether it's on YouTube or any of the other streaming platforms.
We typically stream Thursdays around between noon or 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
At about -5 GMT.
Yeah, so it just goes for until we're done.
Yep.
So we don't really have a set time. We do try to get out here by 4 o'clock our time.
Yeah.
But if it goes over, it goes over. It doesn't make any difference. So.
But okay, so other shop talk we want to talk about. We've covered this one a little bit. I know you have some opinions on this one. I want to talk about Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah, that's
what a dumpster fire of a release.
Yeah. Wow. I tell you what, wow. There's a couple guys in the store that were really looking forward. A couple people in the store that were really looking forward to that game. And rightfully so. You've seen play footage; it's beautiful.
Well, the first game was just universally loved.
Beautiful, but when you have day one release content, and you have microtransactions, and they stop letting you remake characters unless you pay your money to do so.
Yeah. So should we detail?
That's fine.
The naughty list.
Yeah.
The discrepancy or the cardinal sins, we'll call them.
The day one garbage that they threw at them. Holy
the first thing is the game itself is $70.
Right.
Which people are pushing for that to be the price of games.
Yep.
So for the price of buying just Dragon's Dogma 2, you could get Pal World and you could get Helldivers 2.
Yeah.
You could buy both of those games.
Fairly well done games.
For the same price as Dragon's Dogma 2.
Right.
Okay.
Single player games. 2 multiplayer games, you can play single player, right? I think you can play Helldivers by yourself.
You can do Helldivers. It's harder.
And you can Pal World for sure.
Yeah.
So you can take 2 games that are fantastically well done games. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So now you have the deluxe edition, and that's $80. And that comes with, I think, some cosmetics you can only get through the deluxe edition, and maybe some like picture packs, soundtrack, stuff like that.
Yeah.
In addition to that, at day one, they had $42 worth of cosmetic DLC you could buy for a single-player game.
Single-player game, mind you.
So if you wanted everything they had to offer if you wanted to have everything the game had to offer at the onset, it would cost you $122 for a single-player game.
Yeah, and you can't even show this off to your buddies. I mean, unless you take screenshots.
It's just cosmetic.
It's literally just for your own entertainment.
The other cardinal sin is that it had de novo anti-tamper,
which is what Riza just commented on.
Yep, and de novo anti-tamper. There was a guy who was in the comments on the Steam reviews. He was talking about downloading the game and installing it on his Steam Deck and some other things to stress test it and try to get some guides for how people can play it on that. He installed it too many times.
Yep.
And it completely locked him out of his game.
Yeah,
and so it screwed over his account.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Riza just posted that's what happened. She knows someone that just got hard locked in the game and now can't play it.
Yeah.
Done. Just done.
And the final cardinal sin, in my opinion, is there's no... Okay, let's go to one of the very first RPGs.
Yep.
Hell, not even an RPG. Mario World.
Yep.
You had save files.
Yep.
That you could continue. You had 4 slots. Like, let's look at Zelda. You had 4 slots.
Right.
You could have 3 or 4 different games that you could play at the same time. Dragon's Dogma, you can play 1 game.
Yep.
You have 1 run that you can do. You cannot hit new game. There is no new game button while you currently have a game going.
That's frustrating. It's very, very frustrating.
They released a note like 3 days after the game released, or 2 days after, that they're currently looking into adding a feature to the Steam edition that lets you start a new game. How is that
a feature to begin?
How is that not a feature to begin with? But on the flip side, I will talk a little positive. Everybody I've heard for big streamers and Twitch people that I've watched playing it have liked the game a lot, but
no backup saves. You're right. No backup saves.
Yeah, no backup saves. They like the game a lot, but like the gameplay is good, the story's good, but all the extra crap you tag onto it really just makes the game unpalatable.
For me, it's just like a no-go. I'm not even interested in even watching content at this point, because then I feel like I'm sponsoring the company that made the game, and I'm like,
yeah,
I just don't have time for that. Like, there's so many other things you can be doing, and there's so many indie companies out there. Like, I've never played Helldivers, but I played Pal World, and I played all kinds of, like, Enshrouded, and I played a bunch of new ones I just bought. And all these games, none of these people are asking for anything extra. You can download DLC, and that's fine. But they're not, like, saying you have to do it to enjoy our game. Like,
well, and to be fair, the $43 is all cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy it.
It's a single-player game, so, I mean...
I guess I should also state, you can buy it with in-game currency that you generate by grinding the game.
Which is what all the hardcore fans immediately rampage on.
Right.
You could just do it in-game.
Yeah, you could do it in-game.
Well, you can do that in most of the games like that.
Right, but like, what's the point in having a rare cosmetic if you don't have to actually grind for
Flat
it?
Earthers.
What's that?
John says flat earthers.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy. It's craziness. I don't know what to say about it. I'm very disappointed. And unfortunately, there's a few people, like I said, in the store that just really wanted the game. And I think they enjoyed the gameplay of it, but that whole cosmetic thing, it's just... I don't know. I mean, every company does something crazy. So
let's go to a positive note again.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a company, a publisher, a game publisher. All right. I'm going to name some of the games that they publish.
I agree. Grinding for market currency is a waste of a gamer's time.
Goat Simulator. Remember that one?
Yeah, I remember Goat Simulator.
Deep Rock Galactic.
Mm-hmm.
Satisfactory.
Yeah.
Valheim. Songs of Conquest.
Okay.
All of these are published by the same company.
Nice. That's...
Different developers, but published by the same company.
Right.
It's an indie publisher or a small publisher.
Right. Yeah. Well, I didn't know that. So.
It's all Coffee Stain Studios. Also, if you don't have Songs of Conquest and you like Heroes of Might and Magic, when you listen to this episode, I hope it's still on sale, but that game is 66% off right now. It is phenomenal.
Right now, it's on 66.
It's $10 for Songs of Conquest.
You should go buy Songs of Conquest.
It is totally worth it. If you like Heroes of Might and Magic or turn-based strategy, buy it. You're not going to regret it. And they just had a huge drop of different maps now.
Right.
Like, buy that game. Like, just buy that game. Just buy it. Buy it. Just buy it. It's okay.
There we go. I'll put the link in the chat so you guys can see it. Good game. I like it.
Anyways, Coffee Stain has done a lot of things correct.
Right.
As a publisher. With Valheim, they're not afraid to let their people do early access,
right,
and help them along. They're kind of like shepherd people along, more or less. Like they're not like a Sega or
it doesn't seem like they're all dictating what's going on either.
No, they're not.
Literally letting companies just...
And from what I've read from the Satisfactory devs and the Songs of Conquest devs is that they love Coffee Stain Studios because if they have questions, they go and ask them.
Right.
And they let them do their passion projects and make the games they want to make them for the people who want to play them.
Yeah.
And they're just pretty hands-off. And they're basically there as a support structure, which is what a publisher should be doing. As a publisher, your job is to help people get their game out of the mass market, and then you take a cut because of that.
Interesting.
It's not your job to go in and dictate to people how to develop their games. Let the developers develop their games.
Oh, yeah, they also made Bloxburg, which is interesting. Jeez, they made a lot of
Midnight Hunt. Oh, Hunt Down. That's a side-scrolling bounty hunter game with like the '90s pixel art, Metal Slug graphics.
There's a lot of games they're part of.
Holy no, they have a really good track record.
They're a Swedish company.
Yep,
in case you wanted to know.
Yep. But I want to give them. I wanted to talk about them a little bit because they have a sale going on for all their games right now, or a lot of their games.
Yeah, there's some Sanctum. I've heard of all these games.
And
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a solid company, and I feel like they do a lot of things correctly.
Right. Yeah. No, that's it. Isn't that what they should be doing instead of like? Well, yeah, maybe the shareholders in Sweden are different than the shareholders here. I don't know. I mean, that's cool. I think Microsoft learned that if you just let the Mojang and you let
the developers,
Bethesda, you just let the developers make games at their time, you'll make money. Microsoft's made billions of dollars off Minecraft by just letting Minecraft do what Minecraft's been doing all these years.
Yeah,
it's still a really slow road with Minecraft. Releases come out about once every half a year to a year. And they add a little bit of content here and there, but they're still making tons and tons of money off that game. That's a good $2 billion.
Let's go to another up note.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about 1.6.
1.6 on.
Stardew Valley.
Yep.
1.6. There's so many people in my friend group that play this game. I have
excuse me,
42 people on my Steam list that own this game.
Holy smokes! How many people? How do you know that?
I just did the math quick.
You just did the count of them?
Well, I have 10 plus, or I have,
gotcha.
15 plus 32. So 47, sorry. I have people that have played it for 527 hours, and I have people that have played it for 7 hours.
Yeah, I don't have nearly as many friends as you. I have probably 20-some friends, 25 friends on Steam.
Yep.
18 of them play Stardew.
Of course, right.
So, I mean...
But so 1.6 was a major content update. It came out on March 9th, 2024. Stardew Valley hit 1.0 in 2016.
Right.
This is 8 years later. This guy drops a free content update.
Yeah. Well, the guy just loves making the game. That's all he does. This is one guy, too.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, one guy.
One more time. What?
Yep.
And the price hasn't even gone up. It's still $15.
Yep. No, well, you gotta imagine he's making good money off this stinking game. Like, it's on every platform out there.
It's crazy to me. Like, how 98%. Is there a more unanimously over 500,000 reviews?
Yeah.
And 98% are positive.
Yeah, it's pretty silly. Like, Stardew is definitely a fantastic, fun game.
And it's great because all it is Harvest Moon Friends of Mineral Town. It's literally just a Harvest Moon game with a little bit of extra here and there.
Right.
It's just someone took a Harvest Moon game and decided, you know what, let's just never stop making it better.
I didn't realize 98%. That's huge.
With 570,000 reviews.
That is a big freaking holy crud.
How many I wonder what the Steam charts. I wonder what the Steam charts look like for Stardew.
Yeah, he's just doing it because he has fun making the game. That's a Reza was telling us. Which I agree. That's what our we have a kind of a Stardew fan in our group. She kind of keeps tabs on Stardew all the time.
My brother plays. Actually, a couple of my friends played. Well, one guy has it platinum.
Yeah,
which is just ridiculous.
It is a fun game. I didn't 100% the game because there's a lot of little things you can do. But I did get all the way through the grandpa meeting up. Spoilers, whatever. It's been up for a lot of years.
It also hit its peak players.
Yeah.
In the last 30 days.
Well, you can have
8
players now.
250,000.
Holy jeez.
players.
That's a
unstarted.
lot. That's 250,000.
It's averaging 70,000 players in the last just a little bit.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that happens.
What's that?
No, she said she played it a little bit, but then she may have bought Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yeah,
but you know, good thing about Stardew, it's timeless. It's literally timeless game.
But the idea that after 8 years you're willing to download a game and go back into it and see what happened and what's different about it.
And it's on every platform. Every platform has it. I guess I can't say Sega or Sony has it, but
mobile.
I know mobile has it because I have it on there.
Switch
has it. I have it on there. Xbox, I'm pretty sure has it because I'm pretty sure I played it there too. And then I know for sure that the PC has it because I have it on Steam.
Let me check the website and see.
Maybe I played it on
I think
Switch.
It's on Linux even, isn't it?
I don't know. It's such a.
You could probably play it on freaking.
You can play it on almost anything. You could probably get a Texas Instruments calculator, and as long as it had color.
It is available for Switch, Android, Mac, PlayStation 4, iOS, Xbox One, Linux, Microsoft Windows, PlayStation Vita.
There you go. If you still have a Vita,
what?
You still have a Vita. You can go back.
Were Vitas even around when this thing was made, or did someone retroactively?
Maybe the guy just retroactive it, just maybe because he likes Vita.
Just to do it.
Yeah, it's literally one dude. There's no company. It's just one guy that makes this game.
It
was funny because on X, on Twitter,
they made a board game for it too.
He was they were harassing him. When are you gonna release it? What time of day so we can get ready? And he goes, sometime after I drink my coffee. So pretty vague. Then he dumped it not too long afterwards.
I guess there's a board game for it.
Is there?
Yeah.
Wow.
I just saw that.
That's pretty cool. That's a pretty genius, I don't know. Yeah. If you haven't played it, for all you listening or watching or whatever you're doing, go out there, give Stardew a try. It is well worth. It's a good casual player game. And if you have a couple friends just want to do something together, the friends do make it a little easier because you can cut the work.
I played a lot of single player. I probably played 40 hours of single player before I ever went multiplayer.
Oh yeah, I only went multiplayer for a little bit.
It is on Steam, GOG, Humble, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation Vita, iOS, Android. And it is $14.99 on all of them.
It's just beautiful.
Every single one. And the art style's charming. It's timeless art style.
There's a little bit of everything. There's a little adventure.
It's got a little SNES kind of Earthbound, Harvest Moon kind of art style.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit of everything. There's relationship builders. There's mini quests. There's mini games.
You could, by technical definition, call it a dating sim if you really wanted to.
You could. There's all kinds of stuff to do in the game itself. So
yeah.
It's actually pretty good. It's a pretty deep game for what it is. It's kind of surprising. There's lots of little secrets and stuff that he's put in there. It's pretty good.
Yep. Gosh, what else can we talk about?
I don't know. What else do you guys want to hear?
Anything you guys seen recently? Oh, Dredge hit its 1-year anniversary. Dredge is an eldritch fishing simulation game. I haven't beat it yet, but it's a charming little game.
Okay.
Northgard has been doing, rather than pumping out paid content, they overhauled their multiplayer system. They're overhauling the animals that are in the game. That game, I cannot say enough good about that game either.
Right. I don't think I've ever played. No, I never played it.
Caves of Cud is coming up on its 1.0 pretty soon as well.
So okay. Yeah. No.
Sorry, I'm kind of rapid firing here, but
trying to think. I don't actually download. We'll talk about a couple of games I bought here not too long ago.
Okay.
I bought 3-4 games here the last few days.
Okay.
Or last week or month, whatever. One was called Keeper RL, which is kind of it's a roguelike. Right? That's the word we're using, roguelike.
Keeper RL. Is this the one that's
kind of like Dungeon
Dwarf
Keeper
Fortress?
makes Dwarf Fortress makes.
Yeah, it's a colony sim base building roguelike.
Right. And
okay, it's literally Dwarf Fortress or RimWorld or
right. It's pretty cool. It's got a lot of dungeon keeper aspects because you're building dungeons and you're keeping away the heroes, and that's a pretty fun game. I played a little bit of it. I actually bought like 4 games and I just played them all for about an hour or more just to kind of get an idea of which ones I want to continue playing. That one's going to be a little bit. I'm going to wait to play that one because there's a lot more to it than like the learning curve on that one's a little longer.
That's a lone dev as well.
Yep. All I had for this week was the new expansion Final Fantasy 14 came out on pre-sale.
That game's still going strong.
It's solid. It's a solid game still.
Yeah, because that's just the MMORPG one, right? Yeah.
Yep, the MMO. Yep. Yep. Then I bought. Let's see here. What was the other ones? I bought. Goodness sakes, Steam. I bought Ballroom, which is a very. It's an RPG. It's a pretty. It's kind of like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like old school RPG. Kind of think of Baldur's Gate 1.
Oh, it's like an isometric.
Yep, isometric, but it also has turn-based combat. So combat doesn't get too squirrely if you just pure on the go. It's open world. Lots of little things going on in that game. And pretty much everything is interactable to some extent, which is I love. I love a game. Think of
this reminds me a lot of Underrail, but I'll talk about that.
Yeah, I've never played Underrail. That's interesting. So I played that one. I've actually played quite a few hours of that one already. Out of the games that I did buy, I think I played that one for 5 hours.
Well, this one has like it's almost like it kind of reminds me of like a survival crafting, but in an isometric, like a Zomboid kind of.
Yep.
Where it's a Project Zomboid, where it's a top-down survival crafting, but also has that Conan or Ark style thing where you can go fight bosses and do dungeons. And
yeah,
stuff.
I haven't fought any bosses or anything like that yet. I've just been getting through the basic crafting because you can build your own house and you have all that.
Yeah, I'm looking at
stuff.
it now. It looks pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. It's
single player.
Kind of fun game. Yeah, unfortunately, it's single player. I think I did get one or two co-op games. Let's see here. What was the other one I got? I know I'm bouncing around, but I'm just gonna go through a few of my games here I just bought here. Lightyear Frontier. That was the other game that I bought.
Is that the farming one?
Yeah, it's kind of like a spacey.
I actually almost picked that one
game.
up, but I was like, I don't know if anyone's gonna play that.
Actually, yeah, there's a guy on our Discord that plays it quite a bit. Amtrax. I
okay.
think JT also plays it. Crafter
doesn't surprise me. One is playing usually, the other one is.
Yeah,
playing.
so I thought, well, if they're playing, like, I gotta try it.
Yeah,
and it wasn't. It was on. I got it all during the.
It's early access, right? So it's
definitely early
access. Is it undercooked right now, or is it enough content?
Well, I've played it for almost 4 hours, and I feel like there's plenty still to go.
Okay.
So, and I think I got it. I don't remember. I think I only paid $15 for it on sale.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't see how much it is now. I know I got it on sale though.
Right.
Yeah, I think I got it for like 50. I think it was a 40% off sale, so it was like $10 or $15. Not too bad. It's a pretty fun game.
Cool.
Wouldn't be afraid to buy that one or recommend it to somebody. Especially if you like Stardew Valley, it's kind of that same concept. You farm, you go on adventure a little bit. Except for you have a giant mech you're running around in. So that is kind of... You also have some first player mechanics. Kind of reminds me of the game. Oh, there's a game that you run around, but you have to get out and you have to go to caves and stuff, and as a person, which makes the game kind of a little more dynamic. There's not just kind of like Ratchet and Clank type of thing, where you played Ratchet and Clank? No, okay, it's a PlayStation game, and Ratchet and Clank, you're running around, you have like this little pet guy, and he has to sometimes go off and do things on his side because you're just too big to go in that area or whatever. It's kind of with the mech. Sometimes you got to get out of your mech and run into a cave and do some work in there while you're... it's kind of cool. I've enjoyed it.
Cool.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, so yeah. I don't know. What was the other thing you were going to say? You were going to say something.
I got nothing.
Nothing. All right.
Against the Storm, but still playing that.
Against the Storm is good.
Liking that a lot.
I know a lot of you have not probably even heard of that game.
I picked up a couple games.
Oh. Yep, let's do it.
I picked up Mindustry, which I don't know why I haven't got it yet. It's an automation factory building tower defense. It's kind of got a lot of things going on. It doesn't seem like there's a ton of meat on the bones yet, but I also haven't got into circuit logics and all that yet, which that's where when you're building calculators in Minecraft, that's the kind of stuff I like. So
I'm not gonna get into that. That's just way too much stuff.
I also picked up Atrio, The Dark Wild.
Okay.
Which is like this dystopian automation game again with conveyor belts and mining.
Right.
And I love that sort of thing. And then what I was really excited for, I picked up a puzzle game called The Signal State. And the basis of the game is really compelling to me.
Right.
Because it's you're basically you're modulating electrical signals using oscillators and like gates and all sorts of different things.
Interesting.
Kind of like how you ever seen like musicians that play on the keyboard, but they have like all those dials sitting next to them with like the wires connected to each other. It's modifying signals basically.
Right.
And this whole game is based around that. It's a puzzle game based around modifying electrical signals.
Interesting.
And it looks really good, and it was finally on sale, and I
it sounds too complicated for my poor brain.
It's pretty crazy, but it has to do with modular synthesis. I believe is what it's called.
All right,
it's crazy.
How long has this podcast been going on for?
We can wrap it up.
All right, so I think
that's shop talk, I guess.
That's shop talk for this week. Well, it'll be coming out in a week or two anyway.
Episode 3, shop.
Yeah,
talk?
Shop Talk 3.
Okay.
We're gonna do one more podcast, so the stream's gonna go on for a little bit longer because we're starting a new thing that we're gonna work on.
Okay.
At least I think that we are. If not, I will be doing it. And he won't be. So.
All right. Catch you guys next week.
Later.
All right. I will start rendering.
Yep. Yeah, one more thing we're gonna do is we're literally going to surf Steam.
Okay.
Look at top games and bad games and discuss. That's what we're doing.
Okay. That's gonna be the shorter one.
Yeah, this will be a short podcast. Then we're gonna add like promotions and stuff into it. If we have promotions, which we do.
What are we promoting?
Arnold
Palmer, Arizona.
That would be good. If they want to throw money at us, that would be wonderful. I'll promote Arnold Palmer all day. No, Magic Mind is what we're doing. I still have 1 or 2 more of those we have to do.
So you're morally obligated.
Oh, I'm not morally obligated. I could just say I didn't like it, and then I'd be a liar. They sent it to us.
So we want to do top sellers?
Or maybe new releases coming.
Top seller on Steam right now.
Yeah, well, we can't.
It's a Steam Deck.
Okay.
And then Dragon's Dogma 2.
Well, we got to save that for when we're recording, bro.
All the reviews are going up on Dragon's Dogma. Yes. Did they fix anything?
Hopefully.
A new South Park game, too.
What's going on in the world of... I wonder if there's a way to find out what the top stream games of, like, Twitch and YouTube and Facebook and all those are. Yeah.
I was reading something.
Yeah, no, I know. That's why I was talking to you, because I got to see you multitask very well. And you failed that time, sir.
Huh?
Yep. Yeah, have fun. Thank you, Riza. Oh. What time is it? Oh, 2:51. We got to make this quick. Or we can just skip it. I don't care too.
We can skip it. Do it.
Fine.
Tomorrow or Saturday.
All right. I guess we're gonna take off. We're done. I'm gonna cut
later because I still gotta finish rendering.
Yeah, someone's gotta finish doing stuff and all his stuff he's gotta do. He's no fun at all. All right, later, guys. I don't know how to stop it though. Hit the stop button.
I think you have to go to your phone, don't you?
Oh yeah, I gotta go to my phone. My phone's way over there. Ugh. Here. Uh-oh. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Whoa. Ooh, where's the stop button? There is no stop button. Oh, it's the X button. Okay, there we go. Yes, we're going to